Hello and welcome coders to the Sky Coding. This is ETL day 5 and in this session we will perform ETL processing with JSON data. We will see complete continuous data loading in this JSON type data. So let's get started without wasting any time. You can watch the previous sessions of ETL processing from the description box. Okay, so first of all let me show you the JSON type data which I am going to use in this session. So I have some of the simple JSON data which I have made here. This is a as you must be aware about this, JSON means JavaScript object notation and it is a pair of key value pairs. Okay, let me close my VS Code first. And yeah, I have opened this JSON data in the notepad. Okay, so this is basically our JSON data. It is having a key value pairs, as we are having just 4 columns: ID, first name, last name and visit date. Okay, and in the second row as well, ID, first name, last name and visit date. So we will just deal with the simple basic JSON data without nesting. I am not having any of the nesting values here in this JSON data, and we will perform with this, and then later on we will take some big nested values of the JSON data, then we will see that thing as well. Okay, so that your concepts will be more clear. Okay, and guys, the very important thing about this session that we will basically try to learn some of the new things as well related to ETL processing in this session. First of all, we will see that can we create a two streams on a single table. You can pause the video and you can just think that can we create two streams on a one table. Earlier what we are doing, earlier we are just creating a simple table and we are just creating a one stream on that table. In this session we will see that can we create a two streams on the same table, and also we will see consume stream data to different target tables. We will basically consume the data from the streams and we will store that data to the different target tables. Earlier what we are doing, we are just creating a simple single table. Let me show you that thing in the ETL day 4. In the ETL day 4 we are just creating a simple table which is our main landing table, that is customer analytics, and after that we are just creating a stream on that table. This is a simple means single stream, standard only stream, or you can say it as a delta stream. We are just creating on the table and we are just consuming the data from the stream and we are just loading that data to the single table, single target table. Okay, we are just dealing with the single stream on the single table and we are just consuming the data from the stream and we are storing that data to the target table, means single target table. But in this session we will see how to create the two stream on the single table, and can we create the two stream on the single table or not, and we will see that how can we consume the data from the stream and how can we store that data to the different target tables. Okay, we will see that thing. Okay, so first of all let me tell you the prerequisite of this session. Okay, so the prerequisite is basic, that you must be aware about this JSON type of data, that how to deal with the JSON type of data and what is variant column and how can we just convert the JSON data into the tabular format, because without converting the JSON type of data to the tabular format, how can you perform the select queries, and how can you just perform the sorting, and how can you use the where clause. For using those things, our data should be in the tabular format. Okay, so you must be aware about this thing, that how to deal with the JSON type of data and what is parse_json function, and how can we just convert JSON data to the tabular format. For that we can use the flattening as well. We use basically lateral_flatten function. Okay, so these things we have covered in the JSON video. We have completed these things in the learning of the Snowflake playlist, so you can watch these things, these JSON type of dealing, you can watch from the description box. The link will be given in the description box. Okay, we have covered that JSON data loading from the internal stages, external stages, and we have seen the object_construct function as well. How can we create the JSON type of data, and all those things we have covered briefly in the JSON video, so you can watch from there if you don't know about the JSON. Okay, so first of all we will create a table with the variant column to store the JSON type of data. Variant column is a column basically which will just take all of the data types, whether we can store the string values, we can store the integer values, decimal values, date or time step and integer. We can store all types of data to this variant column. Okay, as we have discussed this thing in the JSON video, so you can work from there. Okay, and after that we will just load the raw JSON data into our variant column. Okay, and after that we will just create the two streams on the single table, and we will just create a separate tables to store names and visits, and after that two tasks. Okay, so let me show you the thing. So it is a JSON data which is having ID, first name, last name, and visit date. Okay, so we will just store ID, first name, last name in the separate table, and after that we will store ID and visit date in the different table. Okay, basically this is a data, you can say it is an example of the office. Suppose that employee is coming to the office and when employee is leaving. Okay, and you can see here the visit date is as well. Okay, so we will store this first name, last name, and ID in the one table, and after that we will store the ID and visit date in the different table. Okay, so we will just create two streams on this table, and we will just consume the data being captured by the stream, and we will store that data into the separate tables. We will create a one table with the name and another table with the visit date. Okay, so that suppose that I want to see that what are the number of visitors in the particular date, so we can just simply use this visit date in the where clause, and we can see that what are the ID numbers who visited in that particular date. So we can just query like that way. Okay, and after that two task query the table stream created on the raw table and insert subset of rows into the multiple tables. Okay, if we are creating the two streams, then we will basically also create the two tasks for just consuming the data from the streams and loading to the particular specific tables. Okay, so rest of the things we will see when we will do the practical, then you will better understand those things. And let's first of all create a separate schema. So let's create the JSON schema. As you can see, JSON schema is now successfully created, and now what we will do, we will create a landing table. I have written some of the queries only, means these are basic queries, and after that we will perform rest of the things in front of you so that you can better understand. Okay, so schema is ready, and now we will create a landing table. Main table means a raw table where we will store all of the JSON data. Okay, so this is a simple table, create or replace table raw, and we are just storing all these things in this var variable. Okay, var, and it is a var column, you can say, and this is a variant column data type I have given to this var column. Okay, so that we can store all of the JSON data into this table. That's why we are just giving the data type as variant. Okay, so let's create the table. So raw table is created, and after that we will create the two streams on this table so that these streams can they can capture the changes being done to that table. Earlier also we are creating a single stream on the main table, and whatever insert, update, or delete is going on that table, that changes is being captured by the stream, and after that we are just scheduling the task, and that task is just consuming those inserts, updates, or delete to the target tables. Okay, in the similar way here as well, we will create the two streams, and we will create a two tasks for consuming. Okay, so creating a stream to capture inserts to the landing table, a task will consume those things later on. Okay, so let's create a raw stream one on this raw table, and whenever we will run this query, then our that question will also be solved. Okay, that can we create the two streams on the single table. So we have created a one stream, and now we will create another stream as well, raw stream 2. Okay, you can see raw stream 2 is also created, means we can create the two streams on the single table. Let's write here, yes, we can create two streams on single table. Okay, we can create the streams on the single table. Okay, so we have created this table, raw table, and we have scheduled, we have created these two streams, raw stream 1 and raw stream 2 on this table, raw variant table. Okay, so now what we will do, this is our main table, means raw table, which will be having all of the data in the JSON format. You can say it will store all of the data in the key value pairs. Okay, so that data is in key value pairs. So how can we query that data by putting any of the clause? For that we have to just convert that key value pairs data into the tabular format as well. So we have discussed this thing in the JSON video, that we have to convert the JSON type key value pairs data into the tabular format by passing the data or by using the lateral underscore parse function. Okay, so for storing that tabular form of data, which will be just converted from this raw table, we will store that data into the tabular tables. Okay, so for that we are just creating these table, create or replace table names, and it will store id, first name and last name. Okay, create a table that store the names of office visitors identified in the raw table. Okay, and in the similar way we will create another table which will be name as visits, and id will be integer and date, and that visit date will be date. Okay, so create a table that shows visitation dates of office visitors identified in the raw table. Okay, so here, as I have told you, that in the first table, names table, we will store id, first name, last name, and in the another table, visits table, we will store id and visit date. Okay, then only we will understand that whether our two streams is working or not. Okay, that's why we are creating. The common thing is that the basic thing which we are going to follow here means we are just consuming the data from the two streams, and we are just consuming that data and loading that data to the different target tables. Okay, you can say these are the tables, means names table and visits table. These are the two tables which I am just creating for the target data, for storing the data. Okay, so you can say these names and visits table is a target table. As in the ETL day 4, we are just creating the table tg underscore customer, and customer analytics is the main table, and tg is target table. Earlier we are creating the one target table, now we are just creating the two target tables. Okay, as till now we are just following the ETL day 5 we are doing. So we are such confident now in this ETL processing, so that we can perform some of the complex things. Okay, so let's create this names table for storing the names data. So names table is created, and now let's create the another table with visits. You can say visits table is now successfully created, and now we will create a task that insert the new name recall from the raw stream 1 into the names table. Okay, every minute when a stream has data, then we will create a two task. First task will just consume all of the names data, and that data will be just stored into this names table, and our second task will take all of the visits date and it will store that data into this visits table. Okay, so before creating these tasks, let's first of all insert some of the data, some of the JSON data into our table, and let's see that how this data is looking. Okay, so let's insert some of the data into the table. Okay, so let's write here insert a set of rows to raw table. Okay, so in this we will store the data. Okay, so for that, insert into raw, we are just inserting the raw data. Okay, insert into raw is my table name. You can say this is a table name, insert into raw, and var variant. Okay, so let's write this query here only. Okay, so insert into raw, and we will just use this function parse underscore json function, which will just parse our JSON data into the column format. Okay, if you don't know about this function, then you can watch my previous sessions of JSON, so that you can better understand about these functions. Okay, and after that we will give the values. Okay, so let's copy this thing. This is our JSON data. Let's copy this thing and let's paste here. Okay, let's give this thing, let's give comma, and let's start the single bracket, and let's start the quotation mark single, and let's get like this way. Okay, so this is we are inserting the data by using the SQL. Okay, and in the similar way you can use the pipes, means pipe for continuous data loading to the Snowflake tables. Earlier we are just scheduling the pipe, right? You can say this is a pipe we are just creating earlier in the ETL day 4. In the similar way you can just use the pipe as well for data loading. Okay, that's not a very important. You can, if we are just doing this thing in this like this way as well, then it is also okay. Okay, you can just use those things later on as well, as we are just practicing this thing that how can we deal with the JSON type of data. So our main focus should be on this, that how can we just deal with the JSON data, and how can we perform ETL processing, and how can we just load this JSON data, parse underscore JSON function, lateral function. Okay, so that's a important concepts. Okay, loading is a different thing. It is a simple thing. You can just directly load the data from the web UI, or you can use any of these AWS S3, or you can use Azure. Okay, that's a different thing you can use. Okay, and here we are just inserting the data into our raw table by just SQL only. Okay, so now first of all, let's check the data in the table. Select asterisk from raw. Okay, so you can see, okay, what it is saying. Okay, I have given the wrong spelling. Let's give the correct spelling. So you can see we are having var column and it has produced no results. Okay, so let's insert this set of records into the table. You can see number of rows inserted 2, and let's check the data. So you can see we got all of the data in the JSON format: first name, ID, last name, visit date. Okay, this is a JSON type of data. Okay, you can check here. Okay, so now let's verify this thing and check that whether our stream has captured this thing or not. Okay, so for that let's write the query for stream. Okay, let's give the correct spelling. Select asterisk from raw stream 1. Okay, our stream name is this one, right? Raw stream 1, raw stream 2. Okay, okay, unexpected. Okay, okay, I have not given the comments, so let's select this much. Okay, you can see our stream has just captured this thing. Okay, metadata is action is insert, and is update is false because we are not updating, we are just simply inserting. Okay, so raw stream 1 has captured, and let's verify for raw stream 2. Okay, okay guys, let's give comment, let's give semicolon here, then it will not take that double equals for execution. Okay, you can see raw stream 2 has also captured this thing. Okay, so in this way you can just create 2, 3, 4, 5 streams on the single table. Okay guys, this is your homework. You have to just search for this thing, and you have to tell me that on the single table how many streams can we create. Okay, this is your home task. You can just search on the web that how many streams we can create on the single table. Okay, so our stream has just successfully captured this thing. So now it's time to just consume all of the data which is being captured by the stream to the target table, means our names and visits table. Okay, we have stored all of those things in the names and target tables, names and visits table. Okay, so this is our stream data, and our stream is just storing this data in the JSON format. Okay, so we will just store this JSON data into our target table, means we will store first name, last name and ID to the names table, and we will store ID and visit date to the visits table. Okay, so that our this thing will be also clear that how can we just split the data, means here we will split, we store this first name, last name and ID in some another table, and we will store the visit date and ID in some another table, so that you can also understand that how can we perform the splitting here, means how can we just store the small amount of data to the different table, a small amount of data to the different table, how can we break the data and store into the different tables. Okay, we will see that thing as well. Okay, so as this is a JSON data, and we have to just convert this JSON data to the tabular format as well, so we will perform that same thing while creating the task. Okay, in the task we will just consume the data from this stream to the target table, as well as we will also convert this JSON type of data into the tabular format. Earlier what we are doing, let me show you that ETL day 4 task. Okay, as here we are just creating the task, and we are just putting this condition that when a stream has data, then we are just inserting that data. Okay, here we are not means converting that data into any of the tabular or JSON format, because we are just dealing with the simple CSV files. Okay, means we are having comma separated values and that data is already in the tabular format, so we are just performing and we are writing this much query in the task. Okay, but here our data is in JSON format, so for that we have to write some bit complex query, because instead of just consuming the data from the streams and loading that data into the target tables, we have to also convert that JSON type of data from the streams to the target tables, and we have to just convert that data into the tabular format. Okay, because our stream is having the data in the JSON format. Earlier in the ETL day 4, day 3, we are having the data in the stream in the tabular format, so we are just directly consuming that data and storing that data to the target tables. But in the ETL day 5 today, we are having all of the data in the JSON format. Then how can we store and consume this data, and how can we store this JSON data to the target table? So we will see that thing, that how can we consume the data as well as how can we convert the JSON data to the tabular format in the task only. We will do all of the things in the tasks only. Okay, so let's write the query for task, creating a task that insert the new name recalls from the raw stream 1 to the names table. First of all, we will write the query to store the ID, first name, last name to the names table. Okay, so let's write the simple syntax for the task: create or replace task, and let's write here raw to tasks. Okay, raw to names. Okay, because we are storing the data from this raw table, right? This raw table. Okay, that data to the names table, raw streams. Okay, raw to names, and warehouse. Okay, warehouse. Okay, so warehouse is compute underscore warehouse, and let's schedule this task for let's give 1 minute. Okay, because we are not having that much of time that we should wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so schedule is 1 minute, and let's put the condition. Okay, so when stream has data, okay, whenever our stream has data, then this task will run. Okay, when system dollar stream has data, and what is the name of our stream? Raw stream 1 and raw stream 2. Okay, so sky dot json dot raw stream 1. Okay, so let's write this thing in the single quotes, and we will put as keyword, and now we will basically use the merge command. This is a simple syntax for creating the task: create or replace task, raw to names, and warehouse. This is a schedule minute, and when stream has data. Okay, whenever our this stream has data, then this task will run at every minute. Okay, so we will use the merge commands, as earlier we are using the merge command, right? Let me show you that thing. Okay, we are using the merge command here. Yeah, this much merge into tg, these things we are using, right? So in the similar way, we will use merge command here as well, but here the thing is different, that we will just convert that data, means JSON data, to the tabular format by using the colon notations we will use. Okay, we have discussed this thing in the JSON video, you can watch that session. Okay, merge into, and our table name is names. Okay, let's give the alias name using, let's write the query select var is our column name, okay, of the raw table var, and first column is id, and we will just give id to this id. Okay, var, and in the similar way second column name is first name, and we will give this column as first name. Okay, and our second, we are just taking this last name from the var is our column name, and second column is last name, I think. Yeah, last name, and we are just giving the name of this column, and we are storing this last name to this last name column. Okay, from where we are just taking, we are taking these things from raw stream 1. Okay, so let's give the stream alias name as r1. Okay, on we will use this n. N means our table, our names table, names table dot id, names table dot id is equals to number. Okay, so let's convert this to number, r1 stream dot id. Okay, whenever our stream id is equals to names table id, then it will take the values. Okay, when matched, let's put the matched condition. When matched, then update set n means names table dot first underscore name. Yeah, this one, right? First name, this will be just is equals to r1 dot first name, stream dot first name. Okay, and names table dot last name, last name will be equals to stream, our stream dot last name. Right, and when not matched, then it will insert the data, right? Then insert id first name comma last name. Guys, let's write this thing first, then we will understand this thing. Okay, last name and values we will take from the stream. Okay, stream alias name is r1 dot id, r1 dot first name, r1 dot last name, and let's put the semicolon. Okay, so this is our task, and we are just creating this task and we are just merging the data. Means whenever any of the new record will come to the raw table, our main table, which is having a variant column and which will just take all of the data in the JSON format, we are just taking all of the data from there only, because we have scheduled the stream on that table and our stream is just consuming the changes. Okay, so I have written the query here, merge query, merge into names. Names is our this table, this is our table, merge into name, this is our table. Okay, and I have giving the alias name as n. Okay, and we are just using this select var is our column name, variant column name. Okay, let me show you that thing. Okay, so create or replace table, or this is our stream and this is our table, this raw table. Okay, this is our raw table and it is having a column var column which is having a data type of variant. All of the data is stored in this var column only. Okay, so let me show you that thing. Whatever data is present in that table is stored in this var column. Okay, you can see this is a var column and it is having all of the data, first name, id, last name, visit date. So this is a var column which is having a variant data type and it is storing all of the data. Okay, so that's why we are selecting all of the data. We are selecting var means this is our column name, we are selecting this id from this var column, and we are just storing that to this id, and we are just telling that whatever id is coming from this column, this is an id, and in the similar way we are just taking first name from this var column, and in the similar way we are taking last name from this var column from raw stream 1. We are checking all of these things from the raw stream 1 because our stream has consumed that thing. Okay, and we are giving the alias name, and we are just using this thing means names dot id means our this id is equals to stream id, this stream id. Okay, whenever these things are matched, then we will just update because if these things are matching, suppose that we are having id1 and id1 data is already available in this names table, then these ids means id1 is there also already in this names table, and suppose that our stream has also captured the data for the id1, so in that case this will be an update case. So in that case it will just these ids will be matched and this will run this one query. That will update those things. Okay, n dot first name is equals to r1 dot first name, n dot last name will be equals to r1 dot last name, means that names table first name will be equals to stream dot first name. In the similar way, names dot names table dot last name will be equals to r1 dot last name, this one. Okay, and if this condition is not matching, when not matched, then we will insert the data. It means that id data is new. Okay, so id first name last name values, we are taking values from this stream r1 dot id, r1 dot first name, r1 dot last name. Okay, that's why this is a case for update and insert. Okay, so let's run this thing, and then we will understand. Okay, if we will face any error, then we will try to solve that out. If you are facing any type of doubt in this, in understanding this query, then you can just ask me in the comment section, or you can just ask me over WhatsApp or Instagram, and the link will be given in the description box. I will definitely try to help you out there. Okay, if you are facing a single basic type of problem as well, then also you can ask. Okay, because if you will not get error, then how you will learn those things? So errors are very important. Okay, so let's create this task. Okay, what it is saying, invalid schedule was specified. Okay, so let's remove the blank spaces. Sorry for that basic mistake. Yeah, okay, raw to names table task is successfully created. Now you can see task raw to name successfully created. Okay, so our task is created, and whenever id is matched, means whatever id, suppose that id number 1 is already there in the names table, and our suppose that anyone again stored that id1 to the raw table, then that id1 will be captured by the stream, and that this condition will be matched, then id1 data will be just updated by this condition. Okay, so you can understand, you can pause the video and you can just understand this merge query. Okay, so our this task is ready, and we will just resume this task later on. Okay, this task is just taking the data from the raw stream 1, and it is just storing first name last name and the id from the stream, and it is just storing that to the target table, that is names table. Okay, and in the similar way, we will create another task that merges the vegetation records from the raw stream 1 into the widgets table. Okay, raw stream 1, not raw stream 1, it will take the data from the raw stream 2. Okay, because if we will take the data from the raw stream 1 only, so earlier if we are just running this task, okay, then all of the data being captured by this task only, then our raw stream 1 will be vacant, because whenever we consume all of the data from the streams, then stream will be vacant once we consume all of the data. That's why we are just creating this raw stream 2. Okay, that merges vegetation record from raw stream 1 into the widgets table. Every minute when a stream contains record, then this task will run, and record with new IDs are inserted into the widgets table, and record that with IDs that exist in the widgets table will just update that data. Okay, so let's create the task for this thing as well. Okay, so let's copy this thing and let's paste here for creating the another task instead of writing again and again. Okay, so this is raw to widgets ts, warehouse will be same, and stream will be raw stream 2, and merge into, we will give here widgets, because in this time we are dealing with the widgets table. Okay, widgets v, and we will basically use select, var id will be same, and here we will just give visit date, right? Var, we will take this visit date from this var column, means for variant column. Okay, visit date, and this is our visit date. I have to tell this thing to this, because this is a JSON data, right, from raw stream 2. And let's give here r2, and our alias name is r2 on v dot id we will give here v means visits table dot id is equals to our second stream dot id. Okay, r2 dot id, r2 dot id. Okay, r2 dot id. Okay, when these things matched, then update set, we will just update those things. V dot, we will just update the date. Okay, so let's remove this thing. V dot date will be is equal means visits dot date is equals to stream dot date. Okay, so r2 dot visit date, and when these things not match, then we will insert id dot date, and values we will take values from our stream r2 dot id and r2 dot visit date. Okay, so this is a query. Okay, here what we are doing, we are also just converting this JSON data into the tabular format. Okay, so in this way whatever data will be just consumed from the stream and loaded into the target tables, then that data will be just stored in the tabular format in the target tables. And okay, as our stream is having the data in the JSON format, let me show you the data. Okay, suppose that this is our stream and it is having all of the data in the var column in the JSON format. Okay, so our aim is to get this data in the target tables, means our this visits table and our names table. Our target is to store the data and convert the data in the tabular format, because our stream has captured that thing in the JSON format, right? That's why we are just performing this thing. Okay, so this is for visits, merge into visits p, and we are just using this var because we are having all of the data in this var means variant column, and we are taking id and we are just giving the column name for id as id and visit date at visit date. From raw stream to r2 is an alias name on, we are just comparing here v dot id means our visits table dot id is equals to r2 dot id. We are just using two number function here for just converting this thing. Okay, two number r2 dot id. Okay, so means whatever our stream dot id is equals to our visits dot id, then it will just do the updation, and if it is not matching, then it will insert the new date. Okay, then updated. Okay, v dot id and v dot id to the r2 dot id. This condition is for updation and this is for insertion. Okay, so these are the things, these are the two tasks I have created. Let me run this and let's see. So our raw to visits task is also created. Okay, so now what we will do, we will basically resume these two tasks and we will see that whether we are getting the data or not. Okay, so now let's perform one thing. Let's perform some of the select queries. Okay, select queries. Okay, so this is a query for selecting the data from raw stream 1, and this is a query for selecting the data from raw stream 1, raw stream 2, and let's check the data in the select step from our main table, that is raw table, and let's write the query for select step from names table. This is our names table, and select step from names and visits, right? Okay, we are having three tables, right? This is our first table which will store all data in the JSON format. This is our names table and this is our visits table. Okay, so first of all let's check the data in the stream. Okay, so we are having all of the data in the JSON format in our raw stream 1, in the raw stream 2 as well. We are having all of the data in the JSON format, and in the raw table we will also having the data because we have inserted the set of records of JSON data, right? Why it is taking time? This is taking time due to network issues, right? Okay, you can see. And now let's check the data in the names table. Okay, our aim is to get the data in the tabular format into this table. Okay, so our name table and visit table is vacant as I am not having any of the data. Okay, so our aim is to get this thing, that's why we have created these two tasks. Okay, so now what we will do, we will just resume these tasks and we will see that whether we are getting all of the data in the tabular format or not. Okay, so let's write the query for resuming the task. Okay, so resuming the tasks, so let's write here query alter task, and our task name is to raw to visits and raw to names, and we will resume this thing. And second alter task raw to visits, and we will resume this. Okay, so this is the query for resuming the task. And before that, let me show tasks. As by default, whenever we will create a task, then that task will basically move to the suspended state. Okay, you can see this is a names, and it is a name of the task which I have created, and this is basically the ID. So you can see the warehouses, and this is basically the schedule, and these are the some of the predecessors. And you can see the state is suspended here, because whenever we will create the task, then that task by default will move to the suspended state. We have to just resume that task so that our task will run. Okay, so these are the definitions, means what task our task will do. Okay, so this is the task which I have assigned to our task. Okay, so this is a task, and now we will just resume this task and we will see that whether our task is working or not, and we will see that thing. Okay, so first of all, let's verify again the data in the names table. Okay, you can see names table is vacant and visits table is also vacant. Okay, you see visits table is also vacant. So let's resume the task. Okay, you can see I have resumed the task, and let's resume the second task as well, raw to visits. So our second task is also resumed. Okay, so let's check the data in the raw stream 1, as raw stream 1 is having data, because there I have scheduled this for 1 minute, so we have to wait for 1 minute. Okay, as raw stream 2 also is having data, so we have to just wait for 1 minute, and after 1 minute all of the data being captured from these streams, and that data will be just stored to the target tables, means names table and visits table, and that data will be just converted from the JSON to the tabular format, because we are just converting these things in this task only. Okay, so let's wait for the 1 minute, and we will see that if our task is working fine or not, and if it is loading the data to the target tables or not. Okay, if we will face any type of doubt, then we will try to solve that error. Okay, because if we will face the error then it will be very important, because errors are very important. Okay, so let's check the data in the names table. Now let's check the data in the stream. Okay, if we are having no data, okay, you can see no data, it means our all of the data is being captured from the stream. Okay, you can see our both streams, raw stream 1, raw stream 2 is vacant, means all of the data is captured from the stream and stored into the target tables. Okay, so let's check the data in the names table. Okay guys, you can see we got all of the data, ID, first name and last name. Okay, you can see we got 1 2 3 ID John Smith, and we got all of the data in the tabular format. This is our goal, that we are just getting all of the data from the JSON type to the tabular format. Okay, this was our goal. Okay, so we got all of the things. Okay, let's check the data in the visits table as well, as we are getting this thing or not. Okay, you can see in the visits table also we are getting all of the data. Okay, so our task is working fine, and we got our thing that what we are expecting from this task. We are expecting these things from our task, that we get all of the data in the tabular form. Okay, let's check the data in the raw table. In the raw table, you can see we are having all of the data in the JSON format. This is a key value pairs. Okay, first name, last name, ID, visit date. Okay, you can see we are having all of the data in the JSON format, Happy Williams and John Smith. Okay, and we got all of the data in this names table and visits table in the tabular format. Okay, you can see tabular format. Now we can perform any type of query. We can use the select, or we can just insert or update or delete anything in this table, or we can perform the queries by using the where clause. Okay, because this is the data in the tabular format. Okay, as in the similar way in the visits table as well, we are having the data in the tabular format. Okay, so this was our goal, to get all of the data in the tabular format. Okay, the main thing is this much of query merge into. Okay, here we are giving this colon notation for just converting this JSON data, and we are just telling that this is a this thing, and this we have to convert from the JSON to the tabular form. Okay, this the main thing is this much. Okay, so our this thing is working fine. So let's verify the same thing by just inserting some more records. Okay, so for inserting some more records, let's copy this thing and let's write here. Okay, inserting some more records to verify the thing. Insert into raw table, and we will just select, and let's change the IDs. Okay, let's change the ID to so let's change the ID to 667. Okay, and 456. First name John. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, we will perform that thing later on, because guys, here we have given the condition that when match, then when ID is matching, then we are just updating this thing, and when anything is not matching, then we are just inserting the data. As earlier, whenever I have run these tasks, then earlier we are not having any of the data in this names table, and we are also not having any of the data in the visits table. That's why it has just taken these things, and it has matched these things, that these IDs are not matching, because we are not having any of the data in the visits table or in the names table. So this condition was false in this case, because we are not having any of the data earlier in the names table or the visits table. So it has just taken this condition when not matched, and it has directly inserted the data into the names and visits table. But now I am having the data in the names and visits table. So now let's try this thing, that whether our this condition is working or not. Means update set. Let's see that whether our data is being updated in the table or not. So, okay, so for that, what we will do, we will update we will update some of the data. Okay, so let's write the query. Okay, so we are having this data, right? 1 2 3 John Smith and 4 5 6 Happy Williams. Okay, let me show you the data in the names table. You can see in the names table we are having John Smith and Happy Williams. ID is 1 2 3 and 4 5 6. Okay, so let's first of all insert some more rows. Okay, 4 5 6 7 7 7, and this will be 7 7 7, and this will be just 4 5 6 only. Okay, so for 7 7 7, let's give name here Ankit, and let's give here Ankit Patel. Okay, Ankit Patel, and visit date will be same. And for the 4 5 6 ID will be just same, and we will just update this Happy Williams by some different name. So let's give here Sky. Okay, Sky Zone. Okay, so let's give here Sky Zone. Okay, so Sky Zone. Okay, so we are just updating the ID number 4 5 6, and we are updating the first name and last name. Earlier we are having the what earlier name we are having, let's check the earlier name. We are having Happy Williams. Okay, and we have updated the Happy Williams to the Sky Zone. Okay, and this is the 777 ID. This is the new record which I am inserting. Okay, so let's insert this much of data. Number of rows inserted 2, And let's check the data in the raw table. You can see in the raw table we got all of the data. And let's check the data in the stream, that whatever stream has captured. Okay, raw stream 1 has not captured anything. Raw stream 2 has captured this thing, Ankit and Sky. You can see insert. Okay, so let's verify the same thing in the names table, and let's do the show task, and let's see that whether our task. Okay, so state is started. So let's wait for 1 minute and we will check in the names table that we are getting all of the data or not. Okay, so you can see in the names table we are getting Ankit Patel is the new record which I have inserted, and John Smith 123, John Smith is same, and this is a 456. Earlier we are having Happy Williams. Okay, so Happy Williams is updated by the Sky Zone. Okay, and in the visits date we are having 777, and this is a visit date, and for 123, and this is for 456. Okay, so our update condition is also working fine. Okay, so here what happened, we have given the ID number as 456, right? Earlier 456 ID name was Happy Williams. Okay, so whenever this 456 means is equals to our stream 456 ID, okay, then this condition run this time. Okay, when matched, then it has updated the first name with the stream name and last name of the name, that names table to the stream dot name. Okay, stream dot last name. Okay, so our this update condition is also working fine, and insert condition is also working fine. Okay, earlier we are having Happy Williams, and we have updated Happy Williams with the Sky Zone, so we got that thing as well in the names table. Okay, you can see this thing we got. Okay, and if you you can just try with another IDs as well, right? You can give like this way, and you can insert some of the data. You can see number of rows inserted 2, so we will get these 2 data as well again in the these tables. Okay, so our task is working fine, and this was our goal, to deal with the JSON type of data. So basically you will see these things in the real-time scenarios. You will use parse_json function, flattening of the JSON data, and all those things you will see. Okay, so let's check the data in the names table. We are having only 3 rows. We will get 5 rows here. Okay, because we have inserted these records as well. Okay, so we will wait for 1 minute and we will see that thing. Okay, and let's wait for 1 minute. Okay, let's wait for few more seconds. And guys, you can just perform these things by your own, then your concepts will be more clear. You can perform this thing for just nested type of data as well. Okay, we have done this thing earlier as well in the loading of the JSON from the internal stages or the external stages. We have done, as I have taken the simple data. See, this is a simple data, it is not having any of the nesting, it is the simple data having in the key value pairs. You can perform this thing with the some nested data, so that your concepts will be more clear. Okay, you can perform that thing with the nested data. I will provide you some sample nested JSON data. You can just perform the same thing with that data, then your concepts will be more clear. And if you are facing any type of doubt, any type of basic query, you can just ask me, I will definitely help you out. Okay, so you can just go to the web and you can just take some sample JSON data in the nested format. Okay, so you can just practice those things. Okay, so that your concepts will be more clear. Okay, so let's check the data in the names table. You can see we got 5 rows. Okay, and in the visits as well. Okay, in the visits also we got. Okay, so in this way you can just deal with the JSON type of data. As I have told you, you can just practice this thing for the nested type of data, and if you are facing any type of doubt, you can just ask me. Okay, because nesting is very important. Okay, so that's all for today's session of ETL day 5, that how can we deal with the JSON data. And guys, it's very important to watch that JSON video. Okay, because basically we are having three videos on this JSON of 1 hour. You can watch that from the description box. And if you are facing any type of doubt in this JSON, because JSON is a very important concept, and in those sessions we have shown you about flattening and all those things. Okay, and now we are left with the loading of the JSON data through the Snowpipe. You can just perform the same thing by the continuous data loading. As here what we are doing, we are just inserting the data manually only. Okay, here we are just inserting the data manually, and rest all of the things is going automatically, because we have scheduled this task for the 1 minute, and we are just inserting the data in this JSON format, and we are just getting that data in the tabular format. You can see here we have inserted this Ankit Patel in the JSON format, but we got the data in the tabular format. Okay, means we are just doing the automation here. You can see here we have inserted this Ankit Patel in the JSON format, but we got this data in the tabular format. Why we got this data in the tabular format? Because our this task is running every minute when our stream has data. Okay, so this is a automation is going on here. Okay, we are just inserting the data in the JSON format, and we are getting the data in the tabular format. Okay, so in the similar way you can just load the data in the Snowflake tables by using the Snowpipe we have covered earlier in the ETL day 3, day 4 and day 2 as well. Okay, so you can just here what we are doing here, we are just inserting the data by using the SQL queries, and now you can just create a one Snowpipe, and you can just upload this file to the your bucket that AWS S3 bucket, and you can just load this data file to the raw table, and that table data will be just stored into the tables, different target tables, and in the tabular format. Okay, so you can just use this thing through Snowpipe, and you can just check out the JSON processing video. Okay, so this is your home task, that loading the data through Snowpipe. Let me write here, loading JSON data through Snowpipe. Okay, and taking examples of nested JSON data. Okay, so this is your task. You have to just let me write here, right, home task. So this is your home task. You have to just create a one Snowpipe, and you have to just upload that JSON file to the bucket location, and you have to just load that data into the tables, and you have to just schedule these tasks in the similar way, and you can see that whether your data is being converted to the tabular format and loaded into the different target tables or not. Okay, so you can just try this thing with the Snowpipe. This is a very simple thing. You have to just simply create a Snowpipe for this. Okay, this is the thing which we have done in the ETL day 4. Okay, you can see here we have scheduled the Snowpipe, and we have put the SNS topic you can use, or you can use SQ for putting up the notifications. Okay, you can see we have done this thing by using the Snowpipe. Okay, so that's a very simple thing. We have done this thing 3-4 times. Okay, and after that you can just take the some of the nested JSON data, and you can just perform the same thing for the nested data as well, so that your concept will be more clear. Okay, and our and your next home task is to check that how many streams we can create on the single table. Okay, how many streams we can create on single table. This is also your home task. You can just search this thing, that how many streams you can create on single table. You can just search this on the web, and you can just comment and tell me that how many streams we can create on the single table. Okay, as in this session we have created the 2 streams. Okay, so you can just check out this thing as well. Okay, so these 3 is your home task, and if you are facing any type of doubt in these 3 things, then you can just ask me. The WhatsApp group link of my is the link of WhatsApp group is given in the description box. You can just join that WhatsApp group, and you can just connect with me personally or WhatsApp as well, or you can just text me on the Insta if you are facing any type of doubt in this. Okay, guys, let me show you that JSON practice which we have done earlier. Okay, so this is the chapters which we have covered in the Snowflake course. So we have covered this thing. You can see 23.1 JSON processing internal stages, JSON processing external stages, JSON object underscore construct, array arguments, array aggregate, and JSON flattening to tabular. We have covered all these sessions, okay, briefly. So you can watch these sessions from the description box, okay, and you can just get these text files, get these JSON file sample data from the WhatsApp group. So you can just text me, I will just send you these text files, these JSON files for practice, okay. JSON processing external stages, we have covered this thing, okay. Let me show you these things, okay. You can see these things we have done, okay. You can see parsing of the JSON data to get columns and table. You can see we are just we have basically two methods for getting loading data into our main table, by just flattening, by just parsing all the data, okay. You can see here we are just using the lateral flatten function, okay, and you can use substr substring as well to parse the data, okay. You can see these all the things we have covered, okay. So if you want these things, these files for practice, then you can just comment, or you can just visit to my GitHub account, or you can just connect me over Instagram or WhatsApp, and I will send you these things there, okay. You can see we have done this thing, JSON flattening as well. You can see we are just parsing the data, okay. You can see these are the things we have done, okay. So you can watch these videos for better understanding of the JSON concepts, okay. So that's all for today's session. Meet you soon in the next very interesting tutorial of the ETL processing day 6. And guys, if you want any type of videos on the Snowflake, then you can just comment, and I will just make videos on that topic of the data engineering, okay. So that's all for today's session, and soon we will start the sessions on the Snowpark as well, and Python connector as well, Python connecting with the Snowflake, okay. We will cover up all those things, okay. So that's all for today's session. Bye, take care of yourself guys, and if you face any type of doubt, you can ask me definitely, and I will surely help you out there. So bye, take care of yourself guys.